An ugly girl who looked kind of like silica, but had about 50 extra pounds on her and limp yellow hair, stepped out of the shadows. "What will you do if your mate left you?" she asked, stuffing a brownie into her mouth. I sighed, dismayed. "I don't know." I looked up to Kyle Becker, hoping that he would whisk me into his arms and confess his love to soothe my aching heart. Instead, he stared at me and blinked slowly. "Maybe I'll just find a new mate?" I walked forward and planted myself on Kyle Becker's lap. He coughed when I sat on him, blinking several times fast, and then stared at me in horror.
"What are you doing, Peaches Freeberry Jane?"
He looked horrified. I sighed very loudly and got up, turning to look at him and leaning in his face. "I'm trying to make you my new mate, obviously." I rolled my eyes and folded my arms over my chest in exasperation. Boys. But now that I think about it, Kyle Becker sighed in relief.
"Whatever the answer is, it is the opposite of what you want,"
he said urgently before I could complete my thought. "My only two requirements are be sexy and be a bad boy. And obviously, since you're the pack leader, you're a bad boy." I grinned and planted a kiss on his cheek. Kyle Becker leaned away from me in disgust. I turned around, noticing that Evelyn and Assassino were talking. Very confused and highly offended, I stomped over toward them. "How come you throw me on the ground for saying you talk like her, but you're talking to her right now?" I pouted. Evelyn sighed and rolled her eyes. "You're bleepin' welcome to him," she grunted, starting to walk away, only for Assassino to grab her by the arm and pull her into a kiss. He looked really into it, but Ev's arms were straighter than a picket fence, and her eyes were wide open, and she looked super pissed. "Whoa! Whoa!" Evelyn used her shoulder to shove Assassino's shoulder. "Hop the bleep off, lover boy. Jesus!"
"Evelyn, my dear, I am in love with you."
Assassino dropped to his knees, basically groveling. Evelyn jammed him on the head with her fist and grunted in disgust. "I'm your bleeping stepsister, you bleeping freakazoid," she hissed, stalking away from us both to lean against one of the walls and blow bubbles in her gum. I was extremely surprised it hadn't either solidified or liquefied yet, unless she changed to pieces when I wasn't watching her.
"We are not bound by blood, my love,"
Assassino called after her, reaching out with one hand in an overly dramatic way. "I think it's kind of gross you have a thing for your stepsister," I remarked quietly.
"Your ex-mate probably has every STD, and you're calling me gross?"